So you finally decided it's time to track your calories. Finally, I convinced you, or maybe somebody else did. Regardless, you've come to this channel and you've clicked on this video because you're looking to finally get into MyFitnessPal to either start tracking your calories and do it in the best way, most accurate way possible, or maybe you're still a little bit on the fence as to which app to use and you're doing some research on MyFitnessPal. So in today's video, I'm gonna show you the ultimate guide, meaning you're not gonna need any other video except for this one, plus a little bonus in it for you to know exactly what to do with MyFitnessPal and exactly how to use it to get to those fat loss or fitness goals. Let's go. What's good, YouTube? Boy John Mango. I'm here representing Beyond the Iron. That's my online fitness company, and we're looking to take your fitness and your nutrition further so you may change your life forever, all depending on whether or not you take our advice, my advice, and run with it. If you don't, sit back, enjoy the vid, and see if you learned something. Now, for anyone that's new to this channel, maybe just stopping by for the first time, I really encourage you to subscribe because I'm bringing you weekly fitness content that, again, is looking to improve nutrition, whether it's tips, tricks, strategies, or vlogs, days of eating, also meal plans, and things like this, you know, calorie counting, tactics, also workout videos and all that good stuff. So, again, if you're new, consider subscribing. That being said, it's gonna be time to jump into this content for you. I got my phone here. What I'm gonna be doing is I'm going to be recording the screen, and I'm basically going to be going in depth as to everything I know about MyFitnessPal. Now you're probably wondering, there's 100 videos on this. Why would I listen to this motherfucker? Why? What is it that's so special about this guy that he deserves my attention? Well, it's very simple. I've been using MyFitnessPal for basically since it came out. All right, I've been toying with this stuff for a long time. I have been for over 4 years getting others, and that includes my clients, family, friends, not only getting them to use MyFitnessPal specifically, but teaching them exactly how to use it, researching countless hours and, you know, test driving it, all the ins and outs I know. I am so confident that I know so much about MyFitnessPal that I've actually written a complete 36-page ebook diving into all of the fundamentals about this app and tracking your nutrition in general to guarantee whatever results you're looking for, whether it's build muscle, build gains, or lose fat, or anything in between, all right? So if you want a copy of that, you can head over to our website, and it's gonna be in the link in the description down below, and go ahead and grab yourself a copy of the ebook. It's gonna go along nicely with this. This will be a little bit of a visual for it. And yeah, that's all I wanted to say. It's a little credibility. I'm gonna put some timestamps right here for the different parts of this video that we're gonna be going into. So ultimate guide, I'm gonna be starting off part number 1, which we're gonna dive into right now, is gonna be essentially getting set up, just super basic stuff. So again, if you already know this part, and you know, it's not gonna be very long, but if you want to skip by this, just go to the timestamp to the section that you're looking for the most. You know, I definitely recommend, if you're completely new to the tracking game, just stick from beginning to end to get the most out of the video. Now, what we're gonna do here, simply go to the App Store. Now, I have an iPhone. It's on Android devices as well. And now we're gonna sign up, okay? So, obviously, this is the basics. You're gonna sign up with your email, okay? And then it's gonna ask you, as you see, for your goal. So it's gonna ask you a series of questions, and those questions are gonna be your activity, lifestyle, how fast you want to lose or gain weight. It's gonna ask you what your goal is, gain or lose weight. It's gonna ask you whether or not you wanna lose or gain weight or maintain weight. Then it's gonna ask you at what rate you wanna do each of those, which is awesome because it doesn't give you any more of an option than 2 pounds per week, which should be the absolute max. Then you're just gonna put in your email, your stats, you know, where you live, and all that good stuff. Boom, okay, now we're diving right into the software. So when you log in, basically, you're gonna have your main screen. It looks like this, okay? Now, as you see at the top, it's got calories remaining. This is obviously the most important thing, and this is the main purpose of this application. So you're looking at, you know, how many calories you have for your goal, and how many you've input so far, also adding in how much exercise you've done, and then it gives you a remaining total. All right, now at the top left, you got your little notifications thing. This isn't a big deal. I mean, it's if you have friends. We're gonna go into that later. Go Premium, we'll talk about in a sec. I just wanna give you the overview here. So there's your diary at the bottom. You've got your progress, which these are all very important pages, and you've got more on the side, okay? So that's basically the setup, and that's how you get started. That's how you jump into the app, and then you're set up, you're good to go. So now we're gonna jump into part number 2. We're just gonna go over basically all the functions, but not in detail. I wanna go over the pages, and we're gonna start with the not so important pages. So I'm just gonna put extras as part 2. Now, if you go to the more section in the bottom right here, again, you're gonna be seeing this up top. You're gonna see this little row, this little column, I guess you'd say, at the top, Explore Premium. That is not very important. It's just gonna try to sell you on this monthly payment. Now, personally, I've never used premium before. However, if you look in here, you know, there's certain things that you might think is worth it. Food analysis, which foods rank highest. So a lot of people may not understand what foods are best for them. Again, you don't have to pay for this information because I could just give you the information, and I do on a weekly basis, as well as it's all over the internet. But you know what? It could work. All right, so next up, it's Shop Fitness. Now my profile, pretty big waist. You're just gonna see, you know, whatever you've gained, a summary, your friends, all that stuff. Not very important. Now, something to keep in mind, this is not the best social media platform. I mean, they tried to turn it into somewhat of a social thing, which is great for a few tips that I'll mention later. But what you need to know is that, you know, it's nothing that you're like trying to get a bunch of friends and that you post notifications and statuses often, okay? Next up, you've got goals. Now, goals are very important. Goals is actually part of the main thing, and I'm gonna discuss why after. Goals are here. Challenges. Challenges, sometimes there's gonna be weekly or monthly challenges posted here by Under Armour. So as you see, there aren't any currently, and they don't really keep up to date with it, so don't worry about that. Next up, we've got nutrition, very important tab, so we're gonna save that for part 3. Meals, recipes, and foods, also pretty important, but I'm gonna consider it an extra because you probably won't use it too much. Now I'm gonna show you what this is. So, and as the name would imply, you can create your own foods, meals, recipes. Why is this important? Because MyFitnessPal's database actually does need data or Wi-Fi to run. However, if you eat roughly the same foods across even a month span and you input them all yourself, you're gonna save yourself a lot of hassle, and you're gonna increase your chance of sticking to your diet when, let's say, you go off on vacation or something and you don't have service. This is a great way to make sure you stay on track by inputting and keeping with the same meals that you usually eat. All right, so foods, all you gotta do is create a food, and you can put in the brand name. Let's say sometimes you might scan an item, it doesn't show up, just input it manually, okay? And then you've got meals, same deal. So as you see here, I've got a breakfast pancake. Now what this is you're actually just inputting a bunch of different ingredients. It's gonna add up all the calories, macros, proteins, carbs, all that stuff, and micros. You put it in, and for example, whenever I have that breakfast pancake, I make it the same way. I save myself time from having to put it in all the time. I just press that and I'm good to go. Now recipes are gonna be a lot more detailed. You're actually diving in here, you're creating a recipe, you can add it from the web, you can actually enter the ingredients manually, and from there it can give you calories and macros for a specific recipe for a meal, okay? I personally, as you see, don't really use this one, and I'm sure that you won't really use it that much either. Now, this is meant to help simplify your life. Now, that's fine if you enjoy creating meals with the recipes and all that stuff, but for the most part, this is meant to simplify your life, and because of that, you know, I don't like to make things complicated within this app, okay? Tracking alone is gonna make a massive difference, and I always look at food as fuel, not necessarily as something I eat for enjoyment, something I do to pass the time, nothing like that. It is simply something I need to consume to get to my goal. All right, cool. So moving on, we've got reminders. Reminders are pretty cool because you can actually set your own reminder in here to remind you to weigh in. Now, if you forget to weigh in, you realize, again, from following me, that weighing in can be pretty crucial to make sure that you're going in the right direction. It's like somebody who's trying to save money, but they don't ever check their bank account. You should check, you should get data as often as you can, okay? This is gonna help you quite a bit. So, as you see, you can type in if you need a weight reminder, what day of the week, and all that good stuff. I have it on Mondays. I don't think I really see it often that I log in anyway, so this is a great tool actually for you to use to help keep you accountable, because we all know accountability is definitely something, probably the thing that most of us struggle with. So very important that MyFitnessPal has these. I don't think many others have a reminder like this. I'm not too sure, but MyFitnessPal does. So if you needed something for accountability, you got it here. And now moving on, apps and devices. This is kind of cool because you can actually integrate MyFitnessPal with so many different applications and devices. Fitbit, you know, I don't even know half these things. Polar, so if you have one of those watches, you know, it's a lot of it is running stuff. Cycle Master, all these other things, Fitbit trackers. You see, you know, step counter, health app on your iPhone. You can do the Samsung one on the Samsungs, I'm sure. It's just got an extensive list, and you can actually connect them so that they kind of intertwine, and whatever steps you take, it's going to be input into MyFitnessPal, which will then spit out how many calories on average you burn, all that good stuff. So that's kind of cool, but again, it's an extra because you're not gonna be spending much time there. Moving on, we've also got steps. Now, again, you can use the step counter from your iPhone. Your Android's probably gonna have one, or you can just connect it to the MyFitnessPal or the other apps that I just showed you. Again, not a big deal. Blog, whatever, you wanna look at some blogs, great, it's there for you. Community, now for this is gonna be basically, you know, there's a huge online community, but again, if you really consider the amount of people that use this compared to how many people are actually on here, it's just a forum essentially, and it could be something great if you really want to get yourself involved in this specific community. I know trainers and YouTubers and stuff have their own communities that people are usually a part of, but hey, this is always an option for you if you'd like, okay? So there's communities, and you know, a lot of these tabs I hardly ever go. Friends, pretty self-explanatory. Like I said, not something that you're really looking forward to have a bunch of friends, but it's definitely a good way to get some of your friends on and help them get to their fitness goals too. Messages, self-explanatory. Our other apps, so as you see, they've got MyFitness, Map My Run, Map My Fitness, you know, all these cool different iterations of it. MyFitnessPal is definitely the best one, by the way. I've gotten to where I am simply using this and just basic fitness principles. So next up, you've got settings. Now in settings, there's all these different options. A lot of them are self-explanatory, but let's look at profile. Profile is important just because you can actually change if you want pounds or kilograms. Basically your units of measurement will be changed in there, okay? Privacy center, I mean just privacy terms, and help. Pretty self-explanatory. Figure out some things if you have any questions, but again, it's not going to be necessary because you're watching this video, you're good to go. And last up is sync. So to just sync up with whatever other apps you're integrated with, you want to click that, and that's that. Alright, so that's it for part number 2. Those are the extras. As you see, it's really packed with a lot of extra things that you can use. However, this is not what makes the app so great, of course. It's what you use on a day-to-day basis, the ease of use, and essentially just the convenience factor and the actual effectiveness of what I'm about to show you. So that being said, let's go ahead and dive in to part number 3. Part number 3 is going to be the main pages and, you know, where you're going to be spending your time. So if we look at this, and by the way, I'm actually not going off a script for this. Like I said, I've used this for so many years, promoted it for so many years, and got my clients to use it for so many years. I'm basically a MyFitnessPal rep. Let's be honest, I should be friggin' sponsored. This is no joke. You know, I'm really hoping that they watch this video and they realize, damn, the amount of money this guy's made us. I'm probably the reason they got bought by Under Armour. All right, maybe I'm going a little far there, but anyways, let's get on to it. So part number 3, now this part, very important. We're gonna look at the main pages, the home page, whatever, okay? It's gonna show you statuses. That's not the main one. The main are the following. Diary is first, of course. Diary, let's dive into this. So this is gonna show you exactly what your foods are for the day so far, the actual foods and the calories beside them, as well as the value, meaning how many, like how much cups, grams, scoops of each food you've put in. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snack is how it's split up. You also got exercise, you also have water, okay? At the bottom, you'll see nutrition, notes, complete diary. One thing to know is that I wouldn't recommend you complete diary. There's really no need to. And not only that, sometimes you might want to go back, switch things up a little bit because you realize that you messed up and all that stuff. If you complete the diary, I don't believe that you're able to do that. So no need to complete your diary. Just leave it open. Not a big deal. Everything's still getting tracked. Okay, so as you see, I've already followed it somewhat for today. I obviously still have 1,573 calories, which I'm pumped about because I got a big dinner coming up later and I'm stoked, okay? I'm cutting right now. This is all besides the point. Why am I telling you? You're not here for this, okay? So check it out. Now what you do on this one is you'll see the plus sign in the middle. The plus sign you can access from any other page, but that's the diary is showing you your overview. You're gonna see exactly, this is what I look at as a coach as well. I'm gonna see just the foods, and the calorie breakdown for each portion. Obviously, something to keep in mind, you can just add the foods by clicking add food, but you know, this isn't gonna dive into the actual macros and micros. So this is a very important page, but it is definitely not the most important. It's just giving you an overview again of what foods you ate. Make sure that you input the right amounts. That's about it, but you're gonna be seeing this screen very often. Next up is the progress page. Now the progress page, obviously important. As a coach, I definitely expect and enforce that my clients track their progress in many different ways. Now MyFitnessPal is great because it definitely allows for all those ways to be input. So for example, you've got weigh-ins. Now you can input them as often as you want, of course. Now with those weigh-ins, you can actually input pictures, as you'll see on the right-hand side here. And the kid is looking sick. Actually, I look terrible there compared to the way I do now. So I think it's gonna be time that I update a pic. But check this out, by the way. If you wanna see something, check out one of these old pics here. I bet you I find an old pic of me fat. Look at that. That was me almost 3 years ago now. Yeah, I was big. So it's good to have, good to store it in this application for future reference. Awesome, awesome. Glad they had that feature. It's also gonna help you graph out your progress. So as you see, I haven't input a weigh-in in a long time. But to do that, you just press the plus sign. I'll put in 205.4 as that's what I was today. And you can take a little picture there too. And you input it. You can also change your weight to your measurements. So you can actually input measurements. For example, if you want to input this, you go and you type in how much your neck is, for example. So measurements, progress pictures, and weigh-ins, these are, along with the calorie tracking, the best way, all in combination, to track all of your progress. It's gonna have graphs to show you each specific point of your body. It's gonna show you your weight so you can see the trends, see how things go, and from there you can analyze the data. And you know, honestly, there's nothing better than that. So it's awesome. As an online fitness coach like myself, it's awesome. This app does it all, okay? You can also change the time frame if you like, 2 months, 3 months, year, all time, okay? So if I look at my weight from all time, this should be funny. Boom, look at that. I went up to 240 at one point, now I'm down 205. You see over the years, cut bulk. That's kind of cool. Just some data, you know. Over the years, it's cool to see the progress you've made and just to make sure that I am better than I was 5 years ago, because if you aren't, then there's definitely something wrong. So that's it for the progress page. Let's move on here to that nutrition page. So I mentioned the nutrition page earlier. We're gonna go back to that one now. Nutrition, extremely important page, okay? You should be looking at this page almost, if not every single day, okay? Or even multiple times throughout the day. And the reason being is, as you see, it's gonna show you all the breakdown of your actual macronutrients in terms of how many you've hit so far, in terms of your goal. By the way, the goal changes according to if you did cardio or not. How's your goal and how much you have left of each of these. So you might want to check it halfway through the day and say, okay, I've got to make certain choices to make sure that I hit higher protein for the rest of the day and lower carbs, for example. That's going to show you that. It breaks down every single nutrient: cholesterol, sodium, potassium, vitamin A, C, calcium, and iron, okay? You can also swipe over, see a little pie graph of just the macros. Here are some extra features that you'll get from the premium if you're interested in that. Also, a pie chart for the calories over here. Premium's got a little extra feature, and that's that. You can do to your week view. So for example, this, again, is gonna show you calories. What are your average calories looking up throughout the week? Line these up with your weigh-ins, boom, you've got some great data you can analyze to see how your body reacts to certain things, certain days, and maybe why certain things happen on those days, okay? You can also go macros and you'll see the exact little breakdowns in different colors: fats, protein, carbs. Honestly, very extensive, very awesome. You can also export, as you see at the top there, if you wanted to get a digital file. Maybe you gotta send to your coach. It's not a bad idea. I personally don't do it myself, but you know, it's there. Might as well. It's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. Am I right? All right, moving on to the next page. I said this one was very important. This is goals. Now, why is goals important? Okay, well here you can adjust the goal. So at the beginning when you signed up, you typed in what your goal was, activity level, all that stuff. That's probably gonna change over time. If it doesn't, then your goal is to make that goal change over time. Now, what you're gonna do, you're gonna come in here, you're gonna put your fitness goals in. You can put in how many workouts you do per week and how long they are and all that good stuff. But as a coach, and eventually as somebody who gets good at using this application, you're gonna go right here to where it says calories, carbs, protein, and fat. You're gonna click on that, and right here is where the magic happens, because here you can manually adjust your goals. You just click on calories, you type those in, you click here, and you can actually swap these up for percentages. Now, the cool thing about the premium version in this is that you can actually go with specific grams for each one. So for example, when I give my client specific grams, they can actually input that. Whereas if they don't have the premium, they have to try to match it up as evenly as they can through percentages. Regardless, you're able to manipulate your calories and macros here however you see fit. Now, obviously with all the data that I mentioned that you'll see before, you know, this is awesome because you can play around with your macros, calories, input it, and see how your body reacts. This is years, I'm talking 5, 6, 7 years that I've done this, and you know, it's come out to finally allowing me to see what works best for my body, and you can do the same, analyzing the data and using this page correctly. So once you input that stuff, again, the premium feature, you'll see you can add a daily goal, which is awesome. If you have a rest day, you can put lower calories if you like that. I personally know that it's not significant enough to matter. If you're competing, whole other story. That's not my clientele. From there, you'll see a few other premium features. They really try to sell you on that with this, but you know what? It is what it is. You can change your goal weight and they can adjust automatically for you, so it takes the thinking out, okay? A lot of people don't understand how to adjust. I do have a video on all that stuff right here, so go ahead and click on that. You can actually see how to adjust once you hit your goal, or if and when you plateau using a certain amount of calories and macros. Now, that's gonna be it for that. And you know, that is the rundown of how you're interacting with the app on a daily basis. But we're missing one thing, and that's part 4. Let's get into part 4. Part 4 is the database, okay? The database comes from when you press that plus sign in the center. You press the plus sign and you've got food, exercise, weight, water, status. Status, forget about it. Water, forget about it. Unless you're really trying to keep yourself accountable with the water, sure, just buy a big ass jug of water and drink that. Weight, you can input the weight in here. Exercise, I'll do when I do cardio, I input calories through there as well. Food, okay, let's go in here. This is the database. A few things here, you'll see frequent. Frequent is key, recent is key, because these are gonna be the foods that you eat most likely on a day-to-day basis. MyFitnessPal makes it super easy for you. The foods that you've eaten in the last 7 days, boom, they're all there for you. So I have almost the same thing multiple days. There might be a slight variance a couple of days of the week, in which case I just search it. How do I do that? Well, let's say I had some lasagna. It seems to be my favorite option here for an example. I type in lasagna. As you see, I already have these 2 are recents that I put in, but I'll go ahead and press search. Now, this database is extensive. Show more results, endless. Part of the reason why this is the best tracking application is because it has the largest database of foods and the most accurate database. So you see the ones with the check marks beside it, that's how you know you're getting a very, very close and accurate reading as to what's actually on the label for those foods and what's expected to be in them. So that being said, you can choose from here, you click on a food, and you can actually go in and type in. You can do it through fractions or decimals. I don't know why you do fractions. Personally, I think decimals is much easier. If you had, you know, 2 cups, boom, 2 cups gives you the calories. You can check down here, see the fat, sodium, potassium, carbs, sugar, all that stuff. It's all right there for you. Now, do you understand? This is why calorie counting is not tedious, and it might be tedious, but it's not complicated, and there's really no excuse not to track your calories, okay? That being said, we're going back to the database. You got frequent meals. Again, that's what I just typed in, so it's gonna be more recent. My foods, this is if you create a food yourself from that page that I showed you beforehand, meals and recipes, okay? Now, again, you can input these here, or you can input them in the previous page that I showed you. Now, one thing I wanna show you here is probably the best feature of this tracking application. I'm not sure if other ones have it, I'm sure that they do at this point, but this application has had this for the longest time as far as I'm concerned, and that is the barcode scanner. So you can literally take anything. Let's say I got this gum right here, swear to God, just found this here. I had a piece of gum and it has 5 calories. You know, maybe that's gonna throw you over. Just kidding, you should never worry about 5 calories, but boom, look at that. I just scanned the damn gum and it's in there, polarized gum. Did I have 2 pieces? Oh, no, actually I only had 1 piece. So I'll put 0.5. I had 2 calories, but hey, I tracked it. My coach can't get pissed at me. I can't get pissed if somebody's tracking their gum, unless of course they're not tracking the other things. But do you see the gist of it? Tracking things is super easy, and it makes everything, your life, that much easier to track your calories, stay on point with your nutrition. And now I hope you understand that there truly is no excuse not to track your calories, because you literally just use the barcode. If you're living in North America or even Europe, most of the foods that we're getting are coming from a packaged source of some sort. So, you know, fruits usually have barcodes on them as well. If not, you can type it in and they're all gonna have roughly the same calories. You just pick one, you're good to go. All right, so that was a lot of explaining. I'm sorry that this video is so long, but hey, if it's the ultimate guide, it's gonna be long, right? I wanna go in through some tips, okay? Now, before I do, check this video out. It's gonna go into detail about how to track when you're at family or social events, okay? Because that is a very important thing to understand and how to use this application. Now, what you need to understand is tracking your calories is the way to go. MyFitnessPal is the best application to track these calories. I'm not sponsored by MyFitnessPal. I was not contacted by them or anything. I've been a huge promoter of MyFitnessPal because it has truly helped change my life, and it has truly helped change the lives of many others. So I'm gonna close this video out with a tips section. So this is part number 5. I just want to ensure that you understand how to get the most out of this application. I go very much into detail about this stuff in the ebook that I wrote. If you wanna pick it up, it's $20 Canadian. And you can do so clicking the link below, and you're gonna dive right into some serious depth about how to get the most out of this application. But what we're gonna do is go over some tips. So you're gonna notice a mind-blowing stuff. For example, you're gonna be very aware as to how many calories you're eating and from where they're coming from. You're gonna realize that avocado you were eating that was supposed to be healthy for you, and don't get me wrong, it's a great source of fat and a great source of micronutrients, but you're gonna realize it had like 300 calories in it. You're gonna be like, but tell me I have to have half the avocado, or even can't have an avocado? That thing of nuts that you're having, you know, a handful, you're telling me it's 500 calories? This app is gonna open your mind to the reasons why you may not have been losing weight. And another thing is weighing out your foods. In conjunction with MyFitnessPal, buy a kitchen scale so you can actually weigh out the foods that you're eating. This is gonna give you maximum accuracy, because it's one thing to use this application and start tracking. That's great, you made the commitment, but how accurate are you being? How honest are you being? The point of this is to keep yourself accountable, keep yourself honest so you can get the most out of it, especially if you have a coach. Speaking as one, will know exactly when you're not tracking accurately, okay? The next tip is gonna be use those progress tracking methods. Progress pictures and measurements take every 4 weeks and input them into the database so you can have some on your own. The reason I don't personally do it every 4 weeks is because I have multiple other methods of doing so. One being YouTube, Instagram. My phone has a billion selfies, let's be real here, videos. I have progress tracked in my workouts and all that good stuff. But for most of you out there, track your weigh-ins daily. I'm talking 7 days a week. Once a day in the morning. Other than that, it's a waste of your time. And input and hold this. Use the MyFitnessPal, use its full potential, and allow it to store, since it's an online platform, allow it to store your stuff in its database, so that way you have your progress there forever. It's gonna help you keep motivated. Now, another thing, this is also an application, of course, for an iPad, for example. So you have an iPad, you can use the application on there. It looks a little bit different in the interface, okay? So there's an extra tab at the bottom there for nutrition, exercise diary, okay? But at the end of the day, it contains the same things. Now, there's also a website. This is obviously a website first before they created an app for it. The website is basically the exact same thing. It doesn't have any extra features in it that you need to know. And the whole purpose of using this application is that it's meant to be used on your cell phone, because again, that unless you're walking around with an iPad all the time, you got some big ass pockets, buds. You can have it on your iPad and on your website. I showed you the phone version because this is the one you're gonna be using. So don't forget, you can always log on to the website. Basically, the tip here, there is no excuse not to track your calories. Now, You can even input alcohol. So the next tip is when you go drinking, input the alcohol you're drinking. It's very simple. Just type in the type of alcohol it is, rye, gin, rum, beer, you know, whatever it is, type it in. You know exactly how much you drank until you start drinking too much to where you're getting incoherent, in which case, is there really that much else to worry about except for the fact that you're ruining your diet anyway just by drinking? The next tip, when you go out to restaurants, you're gonna find a lot of foods from restaurants are actually in the database of MyFitnessPal. Don't just excuse the fact that you're going out for not tracking your foods, for not staying to your goals. It doesn't make you a lame person. It doesn't make you a party pooper. Trust me, I've been there a billion times, and all it's done is help me get to my goals quicker while everybody else gets fatter. I still was able to enjoy myself. I still was able to enjoy my meals. Even if you go over, track it anyways, okay? That's the next tip. If you go over on your foods, be honest, track it anyway. MyFitnessPal is gonna show up as a negative sign showing you and in red that yes, you've gone over. But you know what? It's better that you know by how much, what caused it, and to see how your weight fluctuates the next day so you can make a better assessment as to how your body reacts to certain calories, carbs, macros, fats, proteins, salt, micros, all that stuff, okay? So very, very important to use this application to its full potential. The next tip is gonna be invest in premium if that's gonna help keep you accountable. We all know that putting some skin in the game, AKA paying for something and investing in it, is gonna help keep us accountable that much more. We're gonna take it a lot more serious. So if you feel like that's something you need to do, then definitely take advantage of the premium membership for MyFitnessPal. It's only just over $5 a month, very affordable. Again, you can find a lot of this information for free on my channel or across the internet, but you know, some people, they just need some more skin in the game. That being said, that's pretty much it. You know, there's literally no excuse. You've watched the ultimate guide. It shows you how to get set up, all the extras that you can or can't use, that you can use if you want. It's gonna show you the main pages, how you're interacting with the app on a daily basis, and it's also gonna show you how to track things specifically, scan the barcodes, type it in, figure it out. I gave you some tips at the end, and I'm providing you with the potential to pick up your own ebook. It's not free, it's $20 Canadian, but trust me, for what you'll learn in here, if you want some skin in the game, it could be worth the investment 10 times. It could be worth the investment tenfold, okay? That's it, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm getting tired from talking so much, to be honest, and I know it's a long video, I apologize for that, but I felt like I needed to make this video to help everyone else out there know how to use MyFitnessPal. And I hope by the end of this video, if you stuck to the end, regardless of how much you watched, I hope you're able to learn and take something away from here so you're able to track your calories accurately going forward, make no excuses, and get your fitness goals. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. My name is John Mango. I'm here with Beyond the Iron, looking to take your fitness, your nutrition further so you may change your life forever. Again, I appreciate the support. Like, share with your friends that need this. Comment below, questions, concerns, subscribe for all of your weekly fitness content coming here. I'll see y'all in that next video. Let's make some damn gains. I'm out.